Hello and welcome to this fabulous episode of Now and Xen. Today we have Kari Ikonen on the show. He is a pianist, moog player, and composer, and has received various jazz awards, but the Ria Award. And he's been in various groups over a large span of time. He currently plays music in the Kari Ikonen Trio. And today we are talking about the Maqiano magnetic invention that retunes piano strings in real time, which I'm very excited to discuss with you. My first question for you is, do you see yourself as more of a musician or more of an inventor?
uh, Much more as a musician, I would say. This
Yes.
inventor, it happened accidentally, unintentionally, and then when I found out that I found a way to microtune the strings, and then there was this COVID period. Most of my concerts were canceled, and I had a lot of time, and I had no motivation to practice or play or compose because I didn't know when I can perform again. So then I started to work on this and develop this, and it has been super inspiring and interesting, but it's quite a different thing. I I have had to study like metal laser cutting and CNC working, like automatic processing on metals and different varieties of synthetic rubber and their fractions and uh, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds really intense. It seems like a classic pipeline for microtonalists. There's instruments they want to build, and so then they get to learn about all of these other materials. I haven't been doing that as much as you. I think the some of the happiest inventions are born from accidents.
Yes,
I'd
yeah.
be curious to know what accidents led to the Macchiano's development.
I was um, I was doing some other preparations. I can't remember exactly what, but I had some magnets and some heavy metal pieces on the piano. I can't remember what I was exactly looking for, but then suddenly one of the pitches changes its tuning level, and then I started searching why does it do it, and I found out that when I put some heavy metal in on the strings, on the choir of the string, with a sharp tip, and when I tighten it there tightly, it stops the vibration of the strings on the in the other part. When I put it like in between the hammers and the agrafes, the the part between the Maqiano and the agrafes, it's not vibrating, so the string gets shorter in a way, and the tuning level goes up.
So if you're effectively shortening the string, I assume like maybe it has to be pretty powerful for that cutoff section to completely stop vibrating.
Yes, yes, exactly. That has to be that's the thing that I was working on for years. Like the the basic idea of this invention is very simple, like super simple, but how to make it work, how to how to make it work on every piano, on every string, and easily, and how to make it safe for the instrument so it doesn't damage the strings or the body of the instrument. That was the tricky part, and I've spent so many thousands hours
I was about to
working on it.
say,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I've seen on the internet that you've been working on it for many years, so it's great that it's really, I think, come to fruition uh, in a way. I wonder about the profile of the strings, like, because I know, piano tuners, they get really nerdy about the overtones and the timbres in there. So, would you say, is there a way that you could describe the Macchiano retuning as affecting a string? Like, does it make the partials stretched or shrunk, or does it do something else entirely, or is it pretty much the same?
It uh, it doesn't really do anything to the string. When I take the Macchiano out, it's totally the original tuning, and and when the Maqiano is on, it changes the timbre a little bit, but not that much anymore. I have this new version now, and it's even better than the first one. And I would say that when I play, you can't really hear the difference between an open string and the Maqiano tuned string. But when I compare like two adjacent pitches, then you can hear tiny difference in timbre. Yeah. But yeah, when I play, it's not a problem.
I saw a video where you were playing, I think it was called Improvisations, Compositions, and Collections, where you were playing, and then the Maqiano was changing the tuning of the strings while you were playing. So what's the interface like for the Maqiano? Does it hook up to a computer? Do you control it with a button? Like, let's say you're playing and you want the Maqiano to change to a scale. Like, how would you set that up for yourself, and what's the situation like?
Well, I need at least one hand to adjust. For example, now I'm sitting on a piano. I don't know if you can see. Can you see?
Yes.
There's a couple of Maqianos installed.
Yes.
At the moment, there's this F is microtuned, so it's like about
F half sharp in an E scale.
Yeah. If I want to make this a little bit higher, it's easier with two hands. I open this lock and I move this and I close it again. And now it's
almost there, yeah.
Now it's higher.
Yeah.
Then when I put it back,
Wow.
When I get higher, then the color changes more. But when I only tune it like maximum a quarter tone, then the timbre is quite similar. You can't really hear at least not in the computer sound.
Wow.
You can't hear the difference.
So you would have, I am figuring out the setup. So essentially you would have one Maqiano per string. Would that be the correct way to refer to it in terms of like singular?
Yes, plural? Yes, or one Maqiano per choir of strings. Like in piano, there's usually 2 or 3 strings per pitch, and I need one Maqiano unit per choir of strings.
Yes. How far is the range for that? I mean, I assume you could just slide the Maqiano almost all the way along the string, but I wonder if there are some limits based on, like, you know, how far out you can tune it before it sounds really different, or like what kind of physical distance would limit you?
Well, that depends on the piano. Some pianos have this iron support bars in strange places, though, so then there's no space to do it. But anyway, it has to be always installed between the hammers and the agraves, because if it goes on the other side of the hammer, then it doesn't really work, because then it blocks the part between the hammers and the bridge, and then because the bridge delivers the sound to the soundboard, then the sound becomes very thin if it's that far. But if I show you with that string how far I can go, now it's already higher than the pitch above.
Oh, I see. So that was more than a semitone.
Now this is F and this is F sharp. So now it's like a G.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
I can go here. Yeah, now it's like G, like one whole step. But now you can hear the sound gets really thin.
Yes.
When it goes more than a whole step, then the sound gets.
I see.
But I can't really find a reason to tune it more than half a step, because then yeah.
Because then it would Because then it would mess with the layout too much, and it might be.
Yeah, and if I want,
order.
if I want to tune it to G, I'd rather tune the F sharp to G than the F. It's a shorter distance.
Well, it's very exciting to think about the possibilities for this instrument. So I assume on your new album with the trio, it sounds like you're playing some Makam scales, right? And you're using the Maqiano for that.
Yes.
Do you have lots of ambitious plans for real-time adjustment of the Maqiano, like as you play, like having one scale and then making a quick adjustment to switch to another scale? Or are you mostly interested in using it so that your piano can just be retuned pretty easily for a song?
The latter, yeah. I sometimes I do it in like during a song, but it's a little bit risky and it takes some seconds. So if there's a moment where, well, I do it sometimes actually. There's one album that I did it in the studio, album of Orchestra Nazionale della Luna. There's a piano solo, and before the piano solo, there's like I don't know, like eight bars bass and drums thing. And during that 8 bars, I installed 3 units of Maqiano and then started playing the solo on a microtonal piano, and that works. But sometimes there's a risk that one of the units doesn't go exactly to the desired tuning level, and then I have to adjust it again. So most of the time I adjust it for the song and play the whole song on the same setup. Except if I need to remove a unit, it's very fast. It's like I do it now, and here it is. So
yeah,
removing it's super fast. This is the thing.
I see. So it's kind of like there's a magnet and a clamp.
Yeah, actually the magnet doesn't really do the trick. Is the mass and the sharp tip that is important. The first version of Maqiano, I had a big magnet here in the mass, and another like counter magnet that I put below under the strings, and then these 2 magnets attracted each other and compressed the string in between them. But this new version, there's still some magnets, but only for being able to change this tip to a softer one for the lower strings. But now the thing is, here's this cam, this eccentric wheel, so
yes.
it tightens this L stick towards the tip, and then when the strings are in between, this really locks it tight on the string.
8 bars is such a fast time for adjustment. It makes me think that like maybe the fastest adjustment you could make that would be really useful would be like having a scale, like a 7-note scale that you're thinking of, and then you put 3 clamps on, and all of them are maybe for like that same pitch class, but in 3 different octaves, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like that.
For example, yeah. We have this this band Wishamalii with a Jordanian singer, wood player, and a Finnish Ethiopian percussion player.
Yeah.
That's where I use the Maqiano in every piece. We released an album last October.
Yes.
It's called Al-Bahr. It's you can probably find it somewhere. It's also a trio, but it's very much like Arabic inspired, but mixed with jazz and contemporary experimental elements. And I play the moog there, the synthesizer, but also like microtune piano in every piece.
Yeah.
And that's a good album to listen to if you want to hear how the Maqiano works.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful album. I really enjoyed it.
Thank
That's
you.
what I listened to beforehand. Yeah. As a Moog player, what's because I know you're a pianist, of course, and you're also a Moogist. What
Yes.
makes up a Moogist? I assume there's like maybe a lot of expertise of that particular instrument going on, as well as performance.
Yeah, I bought my first Moog Rogue synthesizer in 1988, secondhand, and I've been using the same one since that. I still have I just played concert yesterday with that, and I really love it. It's so organic sound, and it's so yeah, it fits so well with acoustic instruments because it's so natural and organic. And usually when I play the Moog, if it's possible, I play only the Moog so that it's monophonic. I play with one hand, but then I have the other hand that I can adjust the filters, the modulation, different things, so I can really make the sound living. And that's why I call myself a Moogist. There's a couple of bands where I play only the Moog, and then I really enjoy it because then with two hands I can really make the sound breathe.
That seems a lot really expressive. Like you're taking those parameters that you can manipulate to a whole new level, and it kind of reminds me of something like guitar playing, where it's like the right hand is doing the playing and the left hand is doing the manipulation, and they almost take on different roles than a traditional like two-handed texture on the keyboard. Maybe more roles for things. When you play that in different bands, is it your Moog or is it somebody else's, or maybe it's always yours because you know it really well?
Yeah.
Back to the magnets. I was wondering, well, like you adjust the magnets, right? And like, let's say you have a string and you adjust the magnet and you adjust it to a new spot. There's lots of ways you could tune that, and I see that it's like a manual adjustment. Like there's no displays on the Maqiano telling you like how far you've gone or what number of cents it is. So I assume if you were tuning that, would you use like a piano tuner, or would you maybe use your ear or a combination of the two, like to get values that are on a level of precision that you would want?
I use ears only. I know some people when they work with microtones, they want to check exactly how many cents. I haven't done it actually, but what I do is in the sound check, I check the exact tuning level I want, and by listening and comparing to the other notes, I'm playing some phrases, and then I find out the exact level. But then here's this scale in the Maqiano mass, and then I can check like on which number it is compared to the agraphs, for example, and I can write that down. And then during the concert, I can put it exactly to the same tuning level without having to play to make any sound.
I see, without the trial and error element.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So fascinating how if you're into piano tuning, you have to, tune by ear as well as use devices, and there seems to be, like, you'd think it would just be one or the other, but really it's kind of a marriage of those two techniques, and they have to work together. And I have a similar experience to you where tuning by ear is really important, because even if you tune by ear and things aren't perfect, it will sound like a human did it. And so that kind of like is conveyed in the music, and it sounds more real, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just those little subtle differences. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. I totally agree with that. When I've studied Arabic music, for example, I'm not using any theories or methods, like a theoretical analysis. I just listen and play and listen and play with musicians from those cultures and hear their opinions and yeah, it's so much more organic and so much more fun to just use your ears and play and listen and not study any theoretical things. Of course, I know the names of the maqams and that kind of things, but
Oh yeah.
I'm not using the tuning meter.
I've heard about some fusion projects where people get really into the theory, and some where they're like, yeah, just use this maqam and do this and use your ears, and anything that combines traditions that don't normally work together is bound to generate a new set of idioms. And I think that's just really great to hear. Like some of your work maybe reminds me a little bit of what Tarek Yamani has been doing or something
Yes,
like
yes.
that.
Yeah.
So how do you guys you were talking about the album, how you use maqam scales, that kind of influence on you. What's the process for you guys playing a tune? Do you basically have like a chart for like one section, or do you just improvise? Do you have a series of guidelines? Did you come up with it together?
Well, all of that. We play some traditional Mwasha songs, and we arrange them, or sometimes we just start playing on them and improvise and play and kind of arrange simultaneously with the band, like instant arrangements that come by playing and jamming on them. And sometimes we plan things and write down things, and also we compose original songs inspired by some Arabic maqam. Yeah, and then of course we also improvise a lot on stage. So we do all that, and lately I've been doing a lot like research, again by ear, but beyond the maqam systems, like trying to find microtonal possibilities for piano that are not anyhow based on any existing traditions, and that's super inspiring, and that's so much possibilities, and but you have to be very careful because sometimes it just sounds ugly and out of tune when you go like out of those traditions.
Right.
It's like in Arabic and Turkish and Persian, these music traditions, the macrotones never sound out of tune. They sound just beautiful because they have long traditions how to use those pitches. But then sometimes when contemporary composers they write microtonal things, and then maybe the tuning levels in performance are not always that exact, and yeah, sometimes the result can be nasty.
Yeah.
And but it's so much things to explore, and it's so inspiring to try to find possibilities to combine harmony and microtones and do it outside any existing music traditions. That's what I'm working on, and it's gonna take a lifetime to
Yeah, for sure.
to do
Would
it.
you say, because of the Maqiano, I wonder what kind of scales you're interested in the most besides maqams, and maybe my guess is, since you have this tool, that you're interested in scales that have around 12 notes per octave that could be tuned in any number of ways. Or maybe you're also interested in non-octave scales. I could definitely see someone using this to retune a bowl and pierce piano really fast, and that would be so cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm basically working on like having different pitches microtuned in different octaves. So for example, I have a composition where I tune the low B flat, and then the next F, and then C and G, like in fifths, and then with that tuning in the piano, I start improvising and finding possibilities that I like and that sound interesting and good to my ears, and then I work on that, and then I try some other like similar. I usually I tune the piano first, and then start improvising on that, and if there's something that I don't like, then I change the setup and improvise again, and then that's the way I work. Then it's not, then I cannot really talk about scales anymore because it changes in every octave.
Right, there's so many different notes if you are not octave equivalent. When you have those non-octave sorts of experiments, are you trying to achieve certain notes or relationships that are far away from each other, or are you essentially tuning by ear and being like, this sounds great, let's keep this? Or maybe there's a little bit of both.
Yeah, a little bit of both. Mostly I do the later. I find something that sounds nice and interesting, and then I work on that, and I write it down, and I might try it in a different key or a different place. I can't really talk about keys.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Here, but yeah, that's the way I like to work. It's just trying and improvising, and then when I find something that I like, then I get deeper into that. And
yeah, it seems like you've really removed a barrier, because I think for a lot of people who want to maybe have different notes on their piano, like the idea of piano tuning is so big and intimidating, but now you've got this thing where you can essentially be like, yeah, if you have this, you can just retune an individual string. So
yes,
it's just super useful. Are you actually into piano tuning at all yourself, or?
yes and no. I have a tuning hammer, and I use it quite often, actually, like in studios, sometimes in concerts too. I carry it with me almost every time, because sometimes in studio, after a couple of hours, there's one note that is the choir of strings. There's one string that is not in tune anymore, and then it's very useful to have the tuning hammer and to know how to use it, so we don't have to stop the session and wait for the piano technician to come. But I can't really tune like a whole piano. I never studied that. I know that it's possible, but it would take some time
Right.
to learn to use it. Yeah, but when like individual notes in my piano get out of tune, I can fix them easily.
Right.
But then when the whole piano starts getting out of tune, then I have to call someone.
Right. Yes. So for the Maqiano products, how do they work in terms of you selling them? Are they on the market right now? Are they something you can buy online?
Yes. I sell them through my website, or actually through the Maqiano website, like maqiano.com. And there's a web store. You can order different sets of 2 and 3 units. And I order the parts of Maqiano from different companies. Most of the companies are Finnish or at least European, and like good quality parts. And then I put them together myself or with my son sometimes, and I sell the sets myself through the website.
Oh, wonderful.
I've done it for 4 years now. The first version, and now the second version. This new one with the cam.
Yeah.
This just came out like a month ago. So
Oh.
now I'm started selling that.
Hot off the presses. So this is version 2, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah, neat. Do you anticipate there being a version 3? What do you think about the future of the invention?
Well, I think this works really well now, and I'm really satisfied. So I don't think there will be big changes anymore. Maybe tiny little adjustments might be different in the next versions, but basically this is the system. I have an idea because it's. Can you see again?
Yes, we can see
works.
the piano.
Yeah, Maqiano. It works from the lowest strings until about here, like in Steinway, B, C, and D. That the highest pitch you can tune is this B flat above the middle C, and then after that, like the 3 uppermost octaves, there's no space to install the Maqiano. Here, this one is a kawaii, and here it's possible to install it also on this part, like in between the capodastra and the hammers, but it takes a little bit more time. It's not that easy, but it's possible. But now I'm working on a special part for the Steinways that I could get like at least 1 more octave.
Right.
And I found a way to do it, but I still need to develop it. It works, but at the moment it changes the timbre a little bit too much, and also it's difficult to install. So I need to find some time to work on it. But I would say like within half a year, I'm gonna have that part ready.
Great. So you would say the biggest challenges are with the structure of the pianos and getting them around maybe certain support bars and.
Yes, exactly, because every piano model is a little bit different, and these support bars are in different places, and that's the challenge to make the Maqiano so that it works easily in all different piano models.
Yes,
that's challenging, but
yeah, a challenge I do not envy from a technical perspective.
Yeah.
So if these support bars were gone in the top register, the Maqiano would still essentially work the same way, or do the thinness of the strings also complicate the situation?
Well, it's actually the length of the strings that would complicate it, because, for example, here, like F above the middle C, I installed the Maqiano like maximum 1 centimeter, maybe like 6 millimeters ahead of the agraph. But the shorter the string gets, the smaller the distances I use when I tune it, and if I put the same 6 millimeters on the highest octave, it would already change the tuning by like a third.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yeah.
Because if you have less distance, the Maqiano travels a higher percentage of the string, and it would be very hard to tune precisely.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. That is difficult. Is there anything to be said for the number of strings? Because I know the lower ones often are wound really large and stuff, so maybe that's just easier. I don't know.
No, actually, it's easy when there are 2 or 3 strings per pitch. That's when it's easy. But the lowest octave or the lowest sixth usually have just 1 thick string per pitch, and then it's a little bit more difficult. It's still possible, but takes a bit more time to install the Maqiano so that it's stable. and it stays in its place.
So that it doesn't wobble, because it could, like with 2 strings, it could kind of balance on those.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this has been such an insightful dive into the design of this invention, and I'm hoping that people who listen to this podcast maybe are interested in trying it out for themselves. I know I certainly am.
Yes, I hope so too. Happy to sell them, and happy to hear what other people, what they achieve when they use this microtuning system for the piano.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm curious to hear.
Yeah, for sure.
It was really inspiring and great fun talking with you about this, and I'm actually starving.
Hey, me too.
So
Perfect.
I could go and make something to eat.
Yes, awesome. Be sure to check out the new album from Kari Ikonen.
Wishamalii.
Oh, yes. My bad.
Wishamalii, and the album title is Al-Bahr. It means the sea.
Okay, so be sure to check out that album, and of course, Kari's expansive discography and other work. And the Maqiano is something you can find online. Maqiano.com is spelled Maqiano.com.
Exactly. It's like derived from words maqam and piano. When you combine those, it's Maqiano.
Very good. I'll see you later.
Thank you. Yes, it was very nice meeting you, and see you soon.
Yes, this was wonderful. Keep in touch.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for listening to Now and Xen. You can catch us on all of your favorite podcast streaming services. If you would like to spread the word, leave a positive review on iTunes, or just tell other people about the podcast, that's greatly appreciated. We also have a Patreon account if you want to show your support that way. Special thanks to all the listeners, the Xen Harmonic patrons, and the Xen Harmonic gods: Jun Dai Bates Kobashigawa, Naran Rattan, Adam Freese, Matthew Sheeran, Hector McGuffin, Leland O. Weigel, Amy Coleman, Jill Weigel, and Tina Harmon Carteau. Catch you next time on Now and Xen.